Welcome to The Real Life Buyer. In this podcast, you will discover interviews with procurement and technical experts, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders. These experts will help you to develop and grow, accelerate your career, improve your business, save money, and buy smart. Now introducing The Real Life Buyer, Dave Barr.
Hello and welcome to The Real Life Buyer. Today, I'm pleased to introduce you to Elliot Walker, co-founder of The Massage Company. Since its inception in 2016, the massage company has continued to challenge common preconceptions of massage as only a treat and a luxury. The vision is simple: to bring high-quality massage to the wellbeing mainstream. They want people to see massage as accessible to everyone, an excellent value for money, so it can become a vital and routine part of a better and balanced quality of life. Their centres in Camberley, Tunbridge Wells, High Wycombe, Sutton Coldfield, and Putney in the UK are in highly convenient locations, and more centres are opening in 2022, and franchise opportunities are available nationwide. Today, I want to understand more about a business in the health and wellbeing sector and the opportunities presented when working with a franchise-based business model. So, without further delay, I'm delighted to welcome Elliot onto the podcast. Hello, Elliot.
Hi, Dave. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. So let's make a short start then. So can you explain to the listeners the backgrounds of the massage company's founders and the why behind your choice to choose and create this business?
Yeah, absolutely, David. So we, the founders are Charlie Thompson and myself. And Charlie used to run the spas for Virgin Active, so the largest chain of spas in the UK. And I owned and ran a skincare business called Murad. And that was bought out and is now owned by Unilever. And basically, I'd seen the huge increase in people's demand for massage services. And Charlie had seen the same through his working and running the Virgin Active Spa Group. And it was the coming together of us two to get together that wanted to find a way of bringing massage, really to make it much more accessible to people in a way that it would be affordable and be able to take and regular advantage of massage services.
Okay, so you've got a big hitting colleague with lots of experience between you then to hit the market. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Yes, that's right. And it was we'd known each other in our past, and because we'd Virgin actually taken some Murad products in. So Charlie and I'd known each other, and then we were both exploring this concept separately. I'd sort of been, come out of a company, gone through a buyout effectively, and Charlie was doing that from within sort of his career, and we both wanted to do this, and it was a huge opportunity for the UK marketplace, and we sat down for lunch together, and it was like, what are you doing? This is what I'd like to do. This is it. Charlie was doing the same. For me, Charlie is one of the best, if not the best operator in the UK. And I couldn't think of anybody else that I'd want to sort of go into business and be my business partner with. So that was how we it was over a lunch.
Yeah. So great having some rapport and a beer always goes well at those times, doesn't it? Okay. Many people have experience of massage therapy in kind of one form or another. So often through either the consequence of an ailment. I've had some back problems myself, but there we go. And the pleasure of visiting a health spa on a break or holiday. So what is it about the massage company that sets it apart from the many physios, chiropractors, and five-star luxury locations that people currently choose?
It's a brilliant point, because if we went back to pre-1990, there was only 15 spas in the UK. So it was really small, and you really had to struggle to find a place to go. Over the past 20, 30 years, the market's really expanded. So you've now got most hotels would put a spa or spa services in there, often just for occupancy rates. But then at the other end of the market, you've got sort of salons and individual operators, and so much smaller. But one of the things that we always find is the consistency is just so varied right across the world, let alone in the UK. And what we wanted to, and it also find it's quite not very well rewarded to the team that are delivering those massage treatments. And so what we did was, by bringing a membership, a subscription-based concept around massage. One, the customer comes in regularly. So we would expect to see customers at least 12 times a year. So they're getting the benefits of regular massage, which are huge. I mean, we'll hopefully talk about them sort of a little bit later on, but they're getting the benefits from it. But it also allows us to invest in the team. And when you bring those two things together, it's just everybody seems to win. And it's just what we focus on. So we don't do lots of different things. We do massage, and we do massage really, really well. So when you bring all of those things together, customer gets a really good experience. We can really look after the team, and the customer will get some really good benefits from coming in from regular massage. So the business is strong as well. So when all those things come together, I believe you've got a really winning formula.
Okay. It's interesting you mentioned the benefits of massage. So let's just talk about that a little bit more. Obviously, we think of physical implications on a massage, but there's also, I believe, mental health implications. So why should it become more of a regular or routine treatment in people's lives when quite often you, as we said earlier on, use it as a kind of a treat now and again, right, while you're on holiday?
Because it's amazing for physical and also mental issues, and it can make phenomenal differences to both. So there was a study recently done, and it noticed a decrease in cortisol levels by 30% after a 60-minute massage. Serotonin increased by 28%, and dopamine increased by 31% after a 60-minute massage. So scientific studies are starting to prove what anecdotally people have known for a very long time. Massage is such an ancient treatment that's been around for so long and in so many different cultures. And we see that in our own customers. So we have a customer in one of the centres who suffers from really, really bad PTSD, British military, and can actually sleep without taking medication following his coming in for his regular treatment. We have I know this lady quite well, because she one of the first times she came in, I was in one of the centres, and she was struggling with migraines, and she wondered if massage would be a good treatment. Can massage help migraines? I'm like, absolutely. It's a known problem that massage can really help with. And she's been coming into us for years now, and literally is on such a reduced amount of medication than she was before, and just has a much better quality of life. And when you link it into the physical side as well, customers that struggle to sleep because of either stress, anxiety, depression, social isolation that's certainly happening now, or the physical side where they're struggling from neck, back and shoulder pain, that then affects people's sleep, and so they're getting poor quality sleep, and it becomes a real vicious circle. And we can really affect that. And so we can really dramatically make a difference to people's lives. And I think that is the whole mission for the massage company, to get people to come in for regular massage and make it really seem as an everyday part of a healthier lifestyle, and not seen as a luxury or a treat that you'd go and absolutely, I love those experiences as well. I go for them. I have those water experiences. They're amazing. But what we offer at the massage company is something really specific that will address people's both mental and physical health concerns.
Right, because there are quite a few types of massage, obviously, out there being referred to. I'm certainly no expert on anything. So from this study, that implies that no matter which type of massage you have, it will have similar benefits, perhaps some in more areas than other. Would that be a fair assumption or not?
Okay, so you're absolutely right to ask. So with this particular study, so they made the customer lie on the treatment table for 60 minutes before they actually did the massage. So when they actually took because there's the placebo, there's an automatic element of relaxation. And just the fact that they were brought into a nice environment and somebody was talking to them would have helped anyways. But it's the significant increase of having a deep tissue massage over a 60-minute period that particular study was done over. Yeah. And it's not about any type of massage, but hands-on treatment and in customer interactions that way will help. But no, this study was over a particular deep tissue massage over a 60-minute period.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. I've had two different types of massage, if you want to call it that. Obviously, one through a chiropractor because of my back issues, should we say. But I was on holiday at one time, and my father and I decided to take advantage of the hotel facilities, and we thought we'd go for a nice, relaxing massage. And what we ended up with was a guy who was quite a bit smaller than us, should we say. He would stand on top of you and use all his force as possible. And he was literally pushing up on the ceiling as he stood on top of us. I don't know if I came out of there more relaxed or not, but certainly more bruised. But there we go. Hopefully that won't be the experience in your places, but it was an experience.
Yeah, look, and there are some great experiences, and there's some really not very great experiences that people have. And that's why we need to be able to focus on the core treatments that are really going to deliver the best results for customers. So there are so many variations on massage and on in the health and wellness world that you can go and do, and some of them are amazing. But what our focus part of it is really on our areas that will really help the customer.
Right. And you mentioned a little bit earlier about the subscription and membership model to get that, obviously, an encouragement and enticement, or obviously a way of getting people to commit to the regularity. So do you want to talk a few minutes about that model and how it works?
Yeah, so the customer will come in for their first massage, and I don't think anybody really thinks that they want to, join a massage membership. That's not where the customer mindset is. And what we're trying to do is show the customer what a really good quality massage is in a purpose-built environment. So in facilities that are built specifically for massage, it's not an adapted, different facility and we're going to add massage on as other services. We're really focused on it. So everything's been built for that. The customer's able to come in 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. So, there are some really, really good independent therapists all over the world. There are some amazing therapists, but, you can't get in to see them, and they can only work a certain amount of hours per week. And what we're able to offer is, come in for your treatment after work, come in before you go to work, come in your lunch break and have a treatment, and then go straight back to work when we all sort of get back into that, however that ends up looking. But it allows the customer so much more than just a walk-in service. And then when you bring all that in and make it affordable, the business is able to optimize better, schedule better, really make the business work at optimal performance. And because we can do that, then we can offer the customer lower prices and much more availability than an operation would do, where there was maybe 5 therapists. We're running operations at sort of 20 to 30, so we can really offer the availability that customers want at the weekends, in the evenings, and it's bringing all of those things together, and the membership allows us to do that as a business. So it's benefits to both parties, really.
Okay. Now, obviously, this is quite a personal service. And so that therefore means that the staff that you employ need to represent the culture of your business, and also obviously be highly qualified and competent in their trade. So how do you go about ensuring your staff that you hire represent your brand and are consistently meeting the standards you strive for?
You asked right at the start, what was our inspiration for the massage company? And this comes back to what Charlie and I both believe is that the team and our industry need to be looked after a lot better than they are right now. It's, our industry would probably be characterized by minimum wage, 0-hour contracts, shifts cut short, and it's just bad. It's it should be stamped out really. So Charlie and I really have approached it from everything that's done. We've really approached it from the opposite. So one, we'd have salaried employees, so they'd be on the proper contracts. The contracts then will offer stability to that employee. We offer training first of all initially, and then an ongoing 3-year training program. We offer career progression for them because of the size of the business. If you want to be a specialist massage therapist, there's very, very little opportunities for you. And we now can offer that. So as the company grows, then we can offer career progression. We allow them to specialize. So if somebody really is interested in bodywork, in helping people, it's a very different skill set to being amazing at nails or being, a great facialist. It's a specialism in massage therapy, and we want people that want to do that, and we offer them that because it's all we do. And then when you bring all of the things together that make the team members safe, protected, their working environment, and well rewarded, we increase the pay quite a lot from the average rates within the UK. Then they're looked after on that side, but then there's all the softer benefits that would really try and focus on and get for the team as well. So we always ensure when we're building the units that the team have a really good staff room. It's important. They're in darker treatment rooms for the majority of their time. So natural light wherever we can, and that often comes at a cost to us. But it's important that the team, and that's borne out in the longevity of the amount of time that our teams stay with us. We look at fixed shifts so they can plan their lives 6 weeks in advance, where that just doesn't happen in our industry. And so there's so many areas. There's the big ones, and then there's the little ones that we really try and do to really help the team.
Yes, that really does attract, I would say, probably the more premium therapists that are out there, because they can see all of these benefits that they wouldn't normally expect in the market then.
Absolutely. And massage can help so many people, and that therapists want to do that, but therapists should be rewarded for the service that they're providing. And historically, it has not been. And Charlie and I would like to think that we're really been quite instrumental in changing that and delivering much better working conditions and rewards for massage therapists in the UK.
Right. Okay. So let's try and get some context. Let's help the listeners understand about the market size in the UK and what you envisage will happen in the next, say, 5 to 10 years.
So if you look at the UK marketplace right now, we have about 8% take-up of massage by the general population, which mirrors the US 20 years ago. The US is now at 21% of take-up of massage by the general population. And the difference in that is really the increase in availability of massage services through membership-based massage businesses. So you might call it a membership-based massage business or massage as a service, subscription business. And that's the journey that we need to go on in the UK. We've already seen this huge increase in spas across the country. I mean, there's some amazing sized new ones coming over to the UK. But what we bring is the accessible part side to that. And it's got some huge growth to come. And it's just such a focus for everybody, isn't it? We'd see all businesses talking about health and wellness of staff, whether we're based at home, in the office, a nice hybrid that works for everybody as part of that. There will be centres needed all over the UK for that. And I think that's the thing that Charlie and I really want to achieve as well, that we have a massage company centre within a 20-minute drive time of the majority of the population of the UK. And that means we have a number more centres to open.
Right. So there's a huge potential to go. We're not even halfway there then, according to the US equivalent.
Not at all. And the US market's still growing. That's the exciting part of it. So, as more evidence comes out, as more people have massage treatments, as more people see the results that people get from having regular massage, then more people are coming into the industry. Because I think when you bring any new product or service to a market, and it starts to really, that ball really starts to get rolling, those first adopters are, great to come in. I love massage, I had great treatments, have it all the time, come and see us. It's great. But the people who, I don't like it, it's not for me, I don't understand it. Those people are, those people eventually we'll get those people coming into the business, and it's that journey that you go on, isn't it? From being an early adopter to sort of bringing in sort of other customers who initially wouldn't, but once they hear their friends, relatives, colleagues at work talking about it, it'll be a nice journey to go on when we start increasing those numbers.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously you've got 5 high-performing, profitable businesses at the moment, the locations we discussed, and you're looking to grow this using a franchise vehicle mechanism. So let's spend a little bit of time about franchises. So firstly, would you explain what the most common types of franchise model are, and what are the key features of the owner-operator model and the owner-investor models that I believe you offer?
Yeah, so franchising is fascinating. It really is. There's some stats, and the banks talk about them. The British Franchise Association talk about them as well. So they are used robustly and across the board. That 95% of new businesses fail within the first 5 years. On the other side, 98% of franchise businesses are profitable and still going after 5 years. So you've got this really interesting part where somebody wants to work for themselves, they want to own their own business, and it's like, right, what's my idea? Then I've got to make it work, and then I've got to bring all those components together. And franchising brings all of that together. So you have the model, somebody else has made all those mistakes, and you're able to start at Formula One speed. I mean, you are opening and going at that franchisee is going to want you to be profitable as soon as possible, because they're going to want to be able to use you as further evidence as to why it's such a good business. So you are totally on the same page, and you've both got the same goals, which is to grow your business. So I think franchising is a very, very interesting area, and the British Franchise Association is a great place for people if they're looking at franchising. And there's also a franchise for everybody. That's the thing. If you've got a $5,000 franchise, there's a franchise for you, and very successful, all the way up to millions of investment. And so the level of investment that you can commit to is important, because you've got to be able to get to a stage of profitability. But there's also the things that you want to do, and our business, the massage company, is in the health and wellness sector. So we sit alongside gyms. We offer similar services of helping people like the care businesses would, and we do good. There's nothing. We offer some real results for the customer, and what this allows is somebody that wants to be in the health and wellness sector. How we really. People can come in, get involved in the health and wellness sector, and we will help them. They'll have their skills. It might be finance. It might be, you may come from a stock background. It might be, HR. It could be an IT background. It doesn't matter where you come from. You will have strengths, marketing, wherever. And we will amplify those within the franchise and in the network. But you'll get all the other things that will be ticked off and you'll be heavily supported with. And that's why franchising businesses are such a success.
Okay. So I'm just thinking now that obviously you will give support, obviously yourselves. And I guess because as you get more and more franchise people within your organization, I guess it'll build a community where you'll support each other and explain what's worked and what hasn't worked, and be able to bounce ideas off people, I guess.
Yeah, we have a franchise advisory board. So the franchisees sit on that. So we have a formal process for discussing what's coming up in the year and things like, and new ideas and also ideas that come out of the franchisees, because that's one of the fun parts and the really enjoyable parts of doing this, because we're really in this together. Charlie and myself, we're in this, building this business, and we're building it with the franchisees. So right now we're all involved in all aspects of the business, and it's really interesting. It's really good fun, really enjoyable. And after the last 2 years, we're looking forward to whatever 22 can bring.
Okay, yeah. I just want to clarify, the owner-operator is where you have somebody who buys the business and are directly involved in the business. They're hands-on, managing in the trenches every day with the staff and the business, where the owner-investor is somebody who puts in the money, but they're quite hands-off. They're reliant on people that they bring on into the businesses they recruit, etc. Is that right?
Yes. So we came up with the two options because one of our franchisees has other businesses. And because of that, we offered a management contract effectively to run that business for him. And so he put his money in, was involved in it, but really he has other things that he wants to be involved in. And it's actually since we've done that and started talking about it, it really sort of got a lot of interest. So we've formalized that and we've really created this owner-operator. So if you're an owner-operator, you come in, you put you invest your money in the fit out, you need your working capital, and then you would be involved in that business. And ultimately, we'd imagine you'd step out and open a second site. But the other opportunity is the owner investor, and there are people with that want to be in the health and wellness sector that have some other substantial businesses. Those might be other food franchises, there might be gym franchises, or just outside businesses that aren't even in the franchise world. And we can help them start and either run it until a point where they can put their own management team in. It makes sense to do that. Or we will run their business for them under an investor model. And it's receiving a lot of interest because people can get involved in the sector but keep their existing income, whether it's a job or an investment vehicle.
Okay. So just trying to now build a pitch. I think you touched on a few times about the number of staff, for example. So let's make sure we've got a clear picture of what people should expect with one of these locations. So we're thinking about number of treatment rooms and the size, the facilities, and so forth. Can you explain some more on that?
Yeah, so we want the massage company to always be accessible to people, but it doesn't necessarily need to be in the premium locations where the rents would be the highest. So there's always a balance between footfall, visibility, and rents, and that's what we would always really take a lot of time over to make sure that the franchisee has the best location that's going to make the most success for them. So we'd look at the location for properties versus rents. We'd look at the size, would be sort of 2,000 to 3,000 square feet. We'd want 10 to 15 treatment rooms because it's kind of like a restaurant. We're very busy on Fridays, Saturdays, and at other sort of key times during the week, and we're full during those times. And like a restaurant, it's built for that capacity, not sort of during your quiet time. So, and it's how you bring all those things together. But the business has to be big enough that it's worth doing as well. And you want a business that's turning over 1.2 million, so that you've got you can build it correctly, you can invest in your team, but also at the end of the day that you're able to take money out of the business that rewards you for the time that you put into it, the effort that you put into it. And that's all important. And you don't get that with a small business. It's really about creating something quite big, and then that comes down to you need the number of team members that would support that. And you get up to you start maybe with 10, and then you'd build it to sort of 20 to 30 staff.
Okay. Now, you mentioned a lovely word like money then. So just thinking in monetary terms, people are thinking, okay, what does this mean? What would a franchisee need to be considering? And how would they go about seeking the sums of money from the financial sector to fund this?
So right now, the government has a scheme called the Recovery Loan Scheme, and that is being supported by one of the banks for businesses that are opening. But that finishes in the middle of this year. But there's always been support from the government that's allowed banks to help franchisees open. And again, this is all levels. So this what we've sort of been a bit more generalistic about the franchise market. This happens at 10,000. If you need 20,000 and you have 10, there are ways that the bank will support you and cover you for that other 10,000. So you need to know what your liquid capital is. That's the starting point. What is your cash available? And then a general rule of thumb, if you take 50%, so we've got some banks that will support us to 70% now, which is quite good. But if you take a 50%, and then sort of double your money, that would be the investment where you would hopefully be able to get to. And hopefully you'll be able to find a franchise, a type of franchise that really inspires you that would, and if you can match those two together, you've got something really quite powerful. But the government support of the banks that allows the banks to support franchise businesses, and because the banks know that franchise businesses have a very, very low failure rate and a very high success rate, then they support franchise businesses a lot easier than going to the bank and asking for a loan for a new business in a sector that you don't have any experience in.
Okay, so we'll talk about if I was looking now to invest and say, okay, I want to join your club. Okay, what kind of money should I be contemplating as being necessary to start a first franchise with your model?
Yeah, so the massage company, we would require in total between sort of 400 and 500,000. So if you say we would to build a centre is roughly 200 to 250,000. So you've got to fit it out. It's got to be nice, and you've got to build it for the long term. It's not something we can just pop up and expect customers to come in and have a good experience in. So we build really good quality centres, and then it's the working capital. So if you said 250 to fit it out, 150 working capital, 400,000. Then you've got interest and other sort of bits on top of that. But out of that 400,000, if you had 200, the bank could lend 200,000, then that would allow you to do the massage company franchise. And then it's really coming down to what's the cost of fit out, what's the rent in those areas, and a few other bits that are just dependent on the actual, the unit and the sort of final deal. If you've got a unit that's beautifully, rectangular shaped, straight back with no columns in, it's a lot cheaper and easier to fit out than if it's got sort of, up and down, in an old listed building. So, you take all those things into consideration before you commit to the deal, to a property, and it's something that we'd certainly very much be hands-on helping with.
Okay, that's good. So any person sort of taking on a franchise would have to recognize that their business needs to represent the image of the parent brand, your brand. And so that therefore means there's going to be systems, procedures, rules, and practices that you would expect them to follow. So what autonomy would they have in running their own business?
This is a really good question, because there are certain personalities that do not suit franchising, and I think that's probably the best place to start. If you want to change everything about that business from the start, then you are not a good franchisee, because the franchisor has made mistakes to get to that point. They've seen other people make mistakes, so they are only telling you the stuff that absolutely works. And in every network, it is absolutely Pareto's law on this. There's top 20% of franchisees are following the letter of that franchise. And it's about, what do you want to do? Is it the management? Is it the management of people? Is it the sales and marketing of that? And then delivering that amazingly well. That's what, or the work part of it. That's the franchise part. If you want to create something new, then franchising's probably not for you, and because you'll get frustrated with it. And you see it in different networks, because different networks have different levels of autonomy. So some are so rigid that you can't move out of at all, and you wouldn't want to. It's how that food's made. It's how you wouldn't expect it to. You wouldn't expect someone just to suddenly start serving pasta in McDonald's because they thought it was a good idea. But then you say that, but then the fillet of fish came out of McDonald's, and that was all down to one franchisee who wanted to offer his customers something different because of where they were in the US.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah, I never knew that.
Day. Yeah, I mean the stories out of McDonald's is amazing. What the franchisees have come up with. So, but ultimately, franchising is your guide to making money. That's what franchising allows you to do, and it allows you to do it at your kind of franchisor's expense, because they've invested lots of money in lots of different areas to find this perfect plan to get to success really quickly, and so then you sort of ask the question, why would you go against that? So for my advice from speaking to people would be, do your due diligence right at the start and choose a franchise that you really like, one that your investment level fits in nicely with, but also you get on with those franchisors, and you can see yourself in a good relationship with them, because you're going to be doing it for 5-10 years. And you get it right, you'll come out really successful, and you'll have done what you wanted to do, which is hopefully make, in the massage company anyways, make a real difference to the people in the local area, dramatically improve people's health, but also on the other financial side of it, get some nice financial rewards.
Yeah. So what's quite clear is there is a lot of choice for people out there. So what is it about your business? What are the USPs of your business that make you stand head and shoulders above most other offerings in the market?
I think that what really makes the massage company difference is that we are the only one that offers this in the UK. So for a start, you very rarely get new categories of franchise. If somebody brings a new chicken brand, there are already some great ones there. The new one, there's some absolutely amazing food that comes out, isn't there? New taste, new styles. But it's an addition to what's there. Whereas we're building a market, and we don't. So Camberley is a really good example of this. So when we arrived in Camberley, there were 17 providers of massage services around, from the beautiful 5-star spa to individual providers, and they're all still there. They're all still doing that. But we've got now, thousands of customers coming in each month for treatments that weren't having regular massage. So when you do that, we're building a marketplace, and very, very infrequently in life do you get the opportunity to do that. So when you put that with the sort of boom in health and wellness, I really think that we've got something really quite compelling.
Okay, just get some context there. For people who don't know Camberley, as an example, what's the kind of population of Camberley?
Yeah, so Camberley is the 147th town in the UK. It's got access to people, a larger population around it, but Camberley as a town centre is relatively small. And we're still sending sort of hundreds of new customers into Camberley each month, and we've been there a number of years now, which is really encouraging. I think that's what we sort of alluded to before, which is people talking to people, the referrals of other people's coming in, and still being able to get lots of new customers coming into the business. So this goes all over the UK. Whether it's 150, whether it's more than that, but it's a large number of units right across the UK.
Yeah, that's just quite interesting, so people would understand that Camberley's not a massive place, and yet you're still getting a huge number of people and more each day coming to join your organisation and become a customer. So that's really interesting.
Yeah, and even more so when you look at the likes of we've just opened in Putney in London, which is great. I mean, it's amazing to be open in London. Just great to be sort of open in here. But there's so many opportunities from Leeds, Manchester, Liverpool, Glasgow, Edinburgh, Bristol, Brighton. There's so many places that just the massage company is. I just can't wait. And we know customers come from these places. It's amazing how far customers are coming away to have treatments at our centres, and literally just asking us, when are you going to open in our area? And that's really encouraging, because when people are making that effort to travel 2 hours plus to come for a 60-minute treatment, we've got. I think we've got something that hopefully will, that really works for customers.
Fantastic. So let's put ourselves in the shoes of somebody who say, "Oh, I want to sign up for this. I've got my money. I've got everything prepared." What should they expect when they walk in to see you? Can you walk us through an overview of the path, the timescales that they would expect to follow, and then ultimately be established with you?
Yes. So if you, from the moment of somebody inquiring about the massage company franchise, so I think the best place to start would be on the massage company website. So there's www.massagecompany.co.uk, which is the customer site. So that's where the customers would interact with us. But if any of your listeners went to massagecompanyfranchise.co.uk, you'll start inquiring there, then you really start to get involved in the journey. And from an initial inquiry, you'd speak to one of the team. they'll take your details, they'll send you some information, and it allows you to really start to understand the business in a bit more detail. From there, we would try and get you along to a centre or to come in for a discovery day where you really sort of hear more about the business. And before we sort of give before the sort of give all the gems of information away, there'd be a non-disclosure agreement to do.
Yeah.
So don't be frightened of that. It's just it's part of protecting the brand, and that's what a good franchisor is trying to do. They're trying to protect because if you get into that network, you want to be protected as well. So everything we do is about protection and growing the massage company brand. So we'd get you along for a discovery day, come and have treatments. I'd say whatever franchise it is, go and try and use those services, because you're never going to be able to mystery shop that business like you will when they don't know who you are. So, take yourself along before you even contact them and see if you like the business. Once you do that, then really it's a process of, you exploring the business. So you've got to get full confidence that when you get to sign that franchise agreement, that you know everything that you want to about us, the business that you're inquiring about. You understand the financials, you understand what your commitments are, you understand what your role is going to be in that business. And so once you've got your information gathering, the franchisor is going to be doing their due diligence on you during that same process. So it's a real two-way part, because no franchisor wants a franchisee that doesn't fit. You want people. These are long relationships. They're going to be very profitable relationships, but you've got to want people in your network that have the same vision as you. So one of the things that Charlie and I have 100% is we only want people who love health and wellness, who think that what we do is amazing, that really get massage treatments, and it's really important to us that is part of that the people involved in our business have that. So we'd then work towards we would then for us, we then do a deposit, which then allows us to start working on a business plan. So there'd be a third-party provider that would work to build up a business plan for you. You could then use that to take to the banks to raise finance, and then complete the franchise agreement. And then for literally 48 hours from that franchise agreement being signed, we will get you searching for property. And we're out there and we're off, because it's not a huge step. It's not sort of, what's the massage company day one, sign the franchise agreement, and then we're suddenly in deep. It's a gradual growth. So it's kind of small steps along the way, and you're fully supported in every part of that. So property selection, is it the right property, to fit out, to recruiting the team. There's help and support all the way through that. So the first step is sort of inquire, get you to franchise, really get to know the business, and then do the franchise agreement. And that's the start of the journey.
Right. I guess the time scale is about how much you're prepared to immerse yourself quickly. So if you're going to say, look, I'm available 24 hours a day, let's do this. It could be, a matter of weeks to get to the point when you're ready to perhaps sign or not?
I would give it a little bit longer than that, because you want to do your due diligence on this properly. We would say from the first inquiry to actually opening your first door, minimum to actually being open and available to the customers would be sort of 9 months.
Yeah.
And so it's a process, but the sort of the point of you're in is the franchise agreement. So you want it in those, and really up until you're kind of you've got the keys and you're fitting out that property, you can stay in your role. If you're coming in as an owner operator, you'd stay in your job, keeping money coming in to you up until that point, because it can very much be done, looking at properties, looking at over agreements, at other times it doesn't have to be, a full time at that point. So up until you make the commitment, you wouldn't need to stop working or anything else like that. You'd very much keep your other income sources going, which would be very positive, very keen to help you keep your revenue coming in for as long as possible.
Absolutely. Okay. So looking at the time, we're running short on time now. So you mentioned your website address. You want to repeat that, and any social media avenues that people could investigate?
Yes. So if you'd like to see what our customers do and the journey that our customers go on, then it's massagecompany.co.uk. But the massage company franchise part of the business, that will effectively support you all the way from your first inquiry to opening your store, and then your rapid rise of massage company centres. Go to massagecompanyfranchise.co.uk. So it's massagecompanyfranchise.co.uk. And then we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. So the Massage Company Camberley would take you to our Facebook. On Instagram, it's The Massage Company. And then on Twitter, it's massage_company. And also on LinkedIn as well. So hopefully we cover most things.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So the last question then, I think people want to hear some of the examples of the journeys that have already taken place. So how can you tell us of the challenges, the highs and lows and experiences that actual franchisors have gone through with your organization? Can you share some of that experience?
Yeah, I absolutely will. And I think the best place to for any prospective franchisee is to go and speak to existing franchisees. So I know our franchisees are very happy to speak to people, and they can hear, they've gone through that journey themselves. They've done the, how does my family support me? I'm investing. This is it's a good amount of money, and it's, it can be your one chance to really make something really quite big, and it can be a substantial investment. So if that is, which is the case, then you want to make sure you're making the right decision. So I always say, go and speak to the existing franchisees, and our franchisees have all said that and do speak to prospective people who are looking at the business, and I think they're the best independent, because they are. But so the highs and lows of the massage company. So so ours has certainly been property. So we literally 18 months for our first property. And it was awful. We left a really quite successful company. So I sold a successful company, and then there was no property available, and it really it just slowed us down opening. And that has just constantly got better over the last 5 years. And now we're in this beautiful situation where, a lot of high street retail has closed, and it's allowing units to really change purpose. And we're employing local people, so we're employing 20 to 30 people in a site that probably only employed 2 or 3 people before. So we're massively improving the local employment prospects of an area. It's bringing thousands of people a month to that location. They then, when they're coming in for their treatment, they then go and use other services. So the property part is been amazing, and the change that's going to allow us to open in locations all over the country. It's going to make franchisees that much more successful because of it. And then the team that we know that we're going to hit an issue with staffing in the future. When we're at 150 sites, we'll have about 3,000 therapists across the UK, and it's a lot of therapists to take off the market into the massage company. So we have built and been building over the last couple of years the Massage Company Training Academy, so that we can take customers from people that want to be massage therapists all the way through, and then give them a guaranteed job at the end of it. So come on a training, do a training course, but then have a guaranteed job. It's quite a compelling argument to do that course and come through it. So I think that if you took the property, the journey that we've gone on with that, and the increased availability now and lower rents, and also what we've done for massage therapists, building the training academy, I think those would be the 2 things that will materially make a difference, that were issues. And I think now will really improve how we can expand across the UK.
Yeah, and you've done all this as well during a pandemic, which must be a very positive thing to say as well.
Yeah, it has been hard. Our customers have been great. Our team have been great. I absolutely need to shout out to Charlie, who has been amazing. And Charlie especially put so much effort into the team during lockdown. And, there was weekly training, there was events happening to try and help people. There's a lot of people that will always be okay, isn't there? But there's, I know personally, because they've thanked us, and, they really struggled during lockdown. And, we got our whole team through it and opened, and our team our team were there at the end of it and able to open when, through each sort of closure and opening period, to open again and be there providing massage services. And then we helped build them up again, so they were back to be able to deliver, lots of massage treatments again. So yeah, it has been hard. It's been hard for a lot of people, and in businesses, it's been tough, but we're still here and really looking forward to what can happen in 2022 and beyond.
Well, that's fantastic. That's been an absolutely fascinating conversation. I think a lot of people will find this very exciting opportunity as well. So perhaps you have to be prepared for an influx of interested individuals.
We have locations across the UK, so that'll be good because we can bring more massage therapy treatments to more of the greater British population. So yeah, no, thanks, Dave. It's been really great to talk with you. So thank you. It's been really, really enjoyable.
Brilliant. Well, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day and the best of luck with your future business. It sounds absolutely brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
So there's another Real Life Buyer podcast. I do hope you enjoyed it and it's given you some ideas and inspiration for greater action and achievement. If you are a purchasing or a supply chain professional, business owner or director, come and join my Facebook group, the Purchasing and Supply Chain Community Hub, a safe place to engage with like-minded, friendly people. See you soon. Bye.